Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. 3 at 3 every business day. I bring you unusual option activity, and it's up to you how you want to trade it. So with no further ado, let's get started. The disclaimer, as always, is that we are not your financial advisor. You need to understand that all investments involve risk. We are presenting this for educational and informational purposes only. Our intellectual property rights are, but not limited to, copyright, trademark, registered mark, patent. We have all of those things. So please, before you just reproduce this, ask us first. We'll be happy to grant you permission. Earnings, we were talking about it on the halftime report, earnings next week. I have some positions right now in United Airlines. I have some positions in Snap. United is Monday, Snap is Thursday. DR Horton is also Thursday. I have positions there. And I've loved the move in Snap. As you've probably seen, Snap came down from, I think in the 70s back in February, all the way down, crashing down to 49-ish as the rates went spiking up. Why? Well, go figure. It was dumb. But it gave us a chance to load up. We did. You may have remembered that I said that on halftime when we were buying it and the stock was 52. Stock has subsequently run back into the 60s, been as high as 64 or 65 recently. And I am still in it into those earnings. I'm also still in the DR Horton upside calls, but I have sold a call against it now, just above that. I'm along the 90s. I've sold the 95s, and I'm about to sell some of the 100s because seeing a nice rally today. So this was when I was on today with Scott Wapner, the host of Halftime Report. He seemed to be in a really good mood today, too. Not sure why, but he was. And there's that ship in the background. I have Matty Satz. That's not his real name, but that's his Twitter handle. He's going to be joining me next week for a podcast. Can't wait for that. He was one of the gentlemen that commented on the boat and said, why does Michael Saylor and Jon Najarian have multi-masted sailing boats in the background? I just thought it was funny, so I thought I'd show you guys that. We're going to have lots of fun discussions with Maddie next week. Here was DR Horton. I was talking about that, as you heard, that I was long this one for weeks and weeks. It's been up 39% on the year. I think I've been in it most of the year. So let's say maybe 30% of that 39%. And I have been selling weekly, just, banging out calls against it. You want to learn more about that? Go to marketrebellion.com/get started. And as always, our daily crypto bite. Those two gentlemen, CJ and Monty, are the monitors and the moderators in that chat room for the daily crypto trading. And every day at 10 o'clock Eastern, we do about a 15-minute what's going on in crypto discussion, as well as Doge of the day. And by the way, our Doge, my Doge, has run from 5.5 cents 2 weeks ago or thereabouts to it hit 45 cents today. Phenomenal. And that's with Bitcoin trading down. The Doge was still moving to the upside. Just crazy. Love it. And certainly appreciate all the love that you guys have given us for that. By the way, you can join that crypto trading room. The video is free every day at 10 o'clock Eastern, but you can join the crypto trading room and get 24-hour access to all the charts and everything else. $1 for the first month. $1. So think about it. If you're thinking about trading crypto, you won't find a better deal. All right, let's kick it off today with Wells Fargo, WFC. Wells Fargo stock was $43.65. They're buying upside calls, May 45s, paying 92 cents. So let's talk about that. These are May regular expirations. That means the third Friday in May, these options will expire. They are just above where the stock is trading, about $1.35 above where the stock is trading right now. So, I'm sorry, $1.45 above where the stock is trading right now. So, they're trading for 92 cents, which means that a 10 lot, if you're somebody who wants to simulate 1,000 share ownership, that would be a 10 lot because every option's for 100 shares. That would mean that a 10 lot would cost you about $920, $92 for each option, since each option's for 100 shares. So 92 cents, you have to move that decimal point over 2 spaces. So $92 for each option. You'd buy 10 of them if you're simulating a 1,000 share position. Costs you $920. You're controlling 1,000 shares from 45 on up. And if you wanted to control 1,000 shares of the stock, that would cost you $43,650. So you get an idea of both the leverage and the risk mitigation with the option, because you know you could only lose $920, and you shouldn't even lose all of that, because what I would do is if this trade is not working, I'll cut it as soon as it gets to half. So if I paid 92 cents, I'd cut it if it falls to about 45 cents. I'd just say, I'm out, gone. Cutting my losses, letting my winners run is how I stick around for a longer time and end up hitting at a much higher batting average. Speaking of big batting averages, there's my brother Pete, along with the daily crypto bite, 60 seconds, 3 at 3. You get the idea. All of our videos go up eventually on YouTube. So if you want them live, you got to be a subscriber or you have to register for one of the free webinars. But we do put them all up at YouTube, and all you have to do is type in Market Rebellion. We're about to cross 17,000 subscribers. We appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Valero, let's take a look at this one. It's about a $72-ish stock. They're buying the 80 calls in June. So did I buy those 80 calls? No, I did not. I buy a lower strike. I want something at the money, and then I'll sell a higher strike 1-to-1 against them. You know what the story is here. They're buying them because they think the summer driving season, coupled with reopening, coupled with after the pandemic, fewer of us want to get into a public transportation. So that means more cars on the road. That's good news for Valero, VLO. So that's my trade there. If you'd like to control your financial destiny, and who doesn't want to do that? Well, one way to do it is to understand derivatives like options, also cryptocurrencies. If you go to marketrebellion.com/get started, you can see all about it. That's marketrebellion.com/get started. All right, let's get to our third of the 3 at 3, which is Urban Outfitters, URBN, Urban Outfitters. Stock was $38. It's up 39%, I think. Was that the number? I think it was up about that year to date. Outperformance like crazy. And they own Anthropology. They also own Free People, very popular. And now with more and more of their stores opening, I don't know how many people shop on those other places online. I'm sure more than did a year ago, but I think the stores opening is a big deal, and consumers have more cha-ching in their pockets. So I think this one might be a beneficiary. We saw big upside call buying at the June 37 strike, which is now in the money. So we like that. Here's some questions and some answers by me. You can send them in to us. Andrew Coffey puts them up every day. It's at Jon Najarian or at 3at3_UOA. DraftKings. What's going on with DraftKings? DKNG announced tons of deals, but not moving upward. Well, this comes by way of Desmond, whose handle is at Desmond318. Desmond, tons of good stuff happening here. The deal that they're one of the sponsors of the NFL. Remember when the NFL used to shy away from such things? Not anymore. That's going to be huge for them. So it has been a huge outperformer, which is why I guess a lot of these deals that are being announced now that were sort of baked in already are not driving the stock significantly higher. But I like the stock a lot. I am long the stock. I am short calls against it. I think it continues to work, but it might not be explosively moving higher. All right, let's get to Palantir, PLTR. Equity Research, and Equity Research's handle is at HADJ_ZIED. Okay, could you please tell us if there's some unusual activity in Palantir, PLTR? They help you find needles in a haystack, Palantir does. They are a data search monster. And yes, we have had unusual activity, multiple hits. I only am showing one here, but multiple hits almost exclusively at the 25 or 26 strikes. So the stock is today roughly 22 something. Back in March, they were buying June 26 calls. It obviously moved all the way up to and through there and then pulled back. I think given that Kathy Wood is a huge buyer of this stock, I think that helps drive it. I've seen her option activity, at least I believe it's hers, because her team does trade derivatives. So whether it's this one or a 17,000 or a 25,000, there have been big buys, May and June, 25 and 26 calls. Just look at the open interest. I think you'll be happy with this position going forward. So that's what I think. And I am in here with you. Miners. All right, let's see. Bud Fox from Wall Street. Bud Fox, whose handle is at Chris Ramon 7, CHRISRAMON 7. What are you seeing in Bitcoin mining market? Has the new derivative investment coin upset the perceived value of miners? Nope, hasn't. It'll just make them more important, I think. Bud Fox. I think that crypto mining, and I'm looking at a couple of miners myself as far as investments in miners, in particular green miners, which would be anything from hydroelectric to wind to solar, and using that electricity for mining. My business partners and I are looking at some of those. But what am I seeing in the Bitcoin mining market? CAN, C-A-N, which is I believe they're a chip maker for mining rigs. And they were screaming up into the Coinbase IPO and then slam. You saw Riot Blockchain slammed, Marathon, which is MARA, slammed, CAN slammed, MicroStrategy slammed. So I don't think this changes the value of the miners. Obviously, Riot Blockchain is a miner. And I think the value of miners remains high. And I think this is just a natural thing. It was buy rumors, sell news. I said it ahead of time. I'm still reiterating it now. But I do think many of those stocks that I just mentioned do come back. DRJ. Jon Najarian, why does Scott call you Doc? And that comes our way of at Drill, DRILEFDEE. Well, he calls me Doc because that was my nickname on the floor. My badge was DRJ, Dr. J. My dad was a transplant surgeon. Sadly, he passed August 31st this past year, the 2020. But nonetheless, extremely proud of Dad and all of his accomplishments. He saved a heck of a lot of lives as a transplant surgeon, kidneys, livers, pancreas. He also came up with immunosuppression drugs that worked to keep your body from rejecting the organ that's transplanted into it. And so to honor my dad, when I came onto the floor, 1981, I picked Dr. J, DRJ, as my acronym. Served me well. That's why Scott calls me Doc. And you know why I call him Judge, because of Judge Wapner. And watch Rain Man if you don't know what I'm talking about. There's my dad, Dr. Jon Najarian, and Jamie Fisk smile at each other in 1986 at the 75th anniversary celebration of the University of Minnesota Hospital. That's my dad with those big hands, gifted guy, super smart, wonderful, and also a great athlete. Played in the Rose Bowl for the University of California, Berkeley. Just fantastic guy. Couldn't have a better dad. And Jamie Fisk was at that time, not at this picture, but when she was a little baby, the youngest person to receive a liver transplant. And that was by my dad as well. So thank you, Andrew. Great picture, and love seeing Jamie Fisk there as well. Well, that's going to do it for today, folks. I hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, it's just YouTube, and you type in Market Rebellion. If you're somebody looking to learn about trading, go to marketrebellion.com/get started. If you're somebody who's really interested in crypto, join us every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for the Daily Crypto Bite. You can also pick it up off that YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. I hope it's been a great week for you. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. Have a great one, folks.